those YouTubers that are coaches, healers, wanna be some things, I don't know, whatever, especially in the area of healing and spirituality and coaching and psychology. I would love to take them all on in live podcasts because one of the problems with the internet is it's one of the benefits but also one of the problems that anybody can talk anything on the internet, and most of people are not smart enough to understand what they're really dealing with when they listen to these things. And Sadia Psychology has so many problems on her own, I believe, that just like many other so-called coaches, healers, whatever, that I don't really believe they deserve the attention that they're getting. And I believe that they're much more competent people that are receiving almost no attention. And one of the reasons it is like this is not because, and this is something a lot of people get wrong, it's not it's not that you receive attention because what you're saying is true. You're receiving attention. You're receiving attention because you're in alignment with the current algorithm that is promoting you. And with Sadia Psychology, it's super easy. She has a nice voice. For many men, not for me, but for many men, she looks good. She has tons of makeup on. She uses filters to look even better. And she kind of has a little bit of this kind of, not for me, like I said, but I understand that for men, some men, she has this like this seductive kind of thing because she seems to know something and she portrays it. The funny thing is, Teal Swan and Sadia Psychology have one thing very much in common. They both talk in a way that their truth is the only truth. And I find it wrong and laughable that I cannot call them out for their bullshit. And people think, or they write that, that just because I'm calling them out for their bullshit doesn't mean that I'm wrong or that I'm judging them. It's like I think there's a misconception of what judging really is. Um, Judging would be to say something like, because she's a woman she should not allow to say this. This would be like judging. Or it's not judging if you correct something that in my view is wrong. Just like if somebody reacts to me and says, I think, James is wrong. If somebody told me, I think James is wrong, then I would not call it judging. But if someone said, he's too old to know what's going on, then it's judging. It's basically, there is a difference in that sense. And I think for calling out Sadia Psychology on some of the stuff that she says on Teal Swan, even for Sadhguru or some other guys, if I call them out and be like, hey, I don't think it's true what you're saying, then you cannot say that I'm judging. And by the way, I don't have a problem with judging. Like it's like this idea that judging in a way is not spiritual, or that talking about spiritual truth and correcting someone else is not supposed to happen. We should all be so accepting about who we are, and whatever truth is the truth for someone, but it's a different truth from someone else. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. You see, I give you an example. If if somebody comes to me with a headache, okay, and I do a few adjustments with my hand, like a special massage or something, and the headache goes away. And and I can do this over and over and over again, then you can judge me all you want. I know this works. I know that it works, and I know how to get rid of a headache for most people. But there's a lot of things that can be said that are not really where people are not able to prove it. But there are some people like me who, in certain areas, can sense or know what the truth is in a certain area. This it would be like, imagine, I think the best example would be, imagine that an an a layman mathematician who learned a little bit about math starts to make a YouTube channel and talks about math, right? And then comes somebody like, I don't know, Stephen Hawking, so I don't know anybody like that, or someone who's a really good mathematician. I don't know them, but let's just say a really good mathematician comes up and says like, no, you're wrong. What you put on YouTube is wrong. It's not that way. And people then don't go below the expert mathematician and say, oh, you're judging the other person. See, and this is where I'm saying that people are stupid, because they don't realize these differences. They don't realize it's literally the same thing. If I say this person is wrong because I feel that I have more knowledge on the subject, then you can't call me that I'm judging that person or that I'm less spiritual. It's absolute bullshit. You could say another example. Let's say somebody shows a yoga routine. Okay, they show a yoga routine, and it's just, it's a bad routine, but everybody is like, oh, it looks so good, and that person gets 200,000 subscribers and 200,000 people. It's with Sadia Psychology, it's the same thing. A lot of people watch her because how it looks. It would be the same like looking at a yoga teacher, with tight pants or something, and she gets 1 million clicks. But then comes a real yoga teacher. It's like, no, this is not how you do it. People also, if they know that that person has expertise, they're not going to say you are judging the other person. So there are facts. There are facts and absolute truth in spirituality, and people don't like to hear that, because they feel then that it's not spiritual to talk like that. But it is. Everything is spiritual. There's nothing that is not spiritual. There's nothing. Everything that exists, everything that is experienced is spiritual, including me correcting others that are talking about spirituality, which I feel is not true. Now, everybody in the comments could be like, nah, I think James is not right here. I don't care, because I know that I'm right. So if it's like you trying to understand an expert mathematician, you're never gonna understand him, you know? So uh it's basically about credibility. Who do you trust? But do you trust someone just because they look good, because they talk better? And this is where society is wrong in a lot of ways, because they only trust people who look better, who have more fame, all of this, and that's complete bullshit. So Sadia Psychology says a lot of things which are completely wrong. A lot of things. And we can go through each topic individually, and I can correct it. Now, if I were to do an analysis on Sadia Psychology, just from a very simple, I'm very good in reading people. Very, very good. My friend sometimes sends me like photos, and I don't know these people, and I analyze them, and he says, oh my God, you're so fucking right. Actually, this is a friend from high school, so I know them, and you were so right about, about the analysis. Sadia Psychology, she uses a lot of makeup. And most of the time, when women are so concerned about their looks, about their makeup, it's because they don't feel fully accepted. There is even the way they truly are. There is even a movie. It's called The Green Planet. You should see it if you like spiritual, if you like spiritual movies. You should see The Green Planet. And there's one scene where these, alien humans come to Earth, and then someone is like putting lipstick on their lips, and she says to the person, "Why are you doing that?" At the end, she's like, "So people accept me," and she was like, "Oh, so when you don't put on lipstick, people don't accept you." So we do a lot of things in society, in life, to be accepted, and unless someone really releases themselves from these kind of basic biological, almost like necessities to feel accepted, the need to be accepted, then a lot of the things that they say will be tainted through that glass, will be changed through that tainted glass, or however you want to say. So, uh, if Sadia psychology doesn't feel accepted, then a lot of, maybe even all things that she says will be said through the lens of needing to be accepted, because that energy never goes away unless you really let it go. And I believe her viewpoint, her like stance on relationship, is in a lot of ways is too simplistic, and it's based also a lot on her kind of like traditional religious beliefs, I believe. And I think I could do this. I don't think it's a bad idea. I will What I'll do is I watch a couple of those videos from of the people that I talk about, and I write down a couple of points, and I make my points against these points, explaining why I think that the person is wrong, why I'm right in that sense. And then I'll make a video for each one individually, and so you can compare and decide for yourself. And the thing is also that what I notice with a lot of women, they have this Western women, they have hatred toward the masculine energy. They have hatred towards men. And that underlying current is seems to be always present. And I can literally sense it. I give you an example. I had a yoga teacher from Argentina. She visited me for 2 weeks. And after a while, I was like, I can sense there is some hatred towards men. And she's like, and of course, these spiritual or these wannabe spirituals or whatever, they like to pretend they're all love, and so they hide. This is what I've been talking about in the other video. They often hide their true feelings. And we were sitting at lunch, and I was like, I can feel there's some hatred towards men in you. I can feel it. She's like, no, no, it's not true. And then a few minutes later, I was like, I can feel it. I literally feel it. And she starts to open up a little bit, and I say, I'm 100% sure. And she says, yeah, I'm fucking mad because. And this is what literally happens with all of these people. They're unresolved. They have some unresolved shit in their energy field, but they still go out and become super famous and talk, some bullshit, pseudo facts about spirituality and relationships. You know, how you have a really great relationship? Not by these stupid methods and analyzing everything. It's by having two people that love each other, that are on the heart chakra, that are on a high consciousness, allowing each other to grow, and not hindering the other person in their growth. And this is how you have a great relationship. It's that simple. The All the other stuff is absolute bullshit. And Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick a couple of topics that Sadia is talking about, and then put them in the video, and you will see what I mean. And by the way, this is something interesting because even before awakening, I used to call people out on their bullshit, and I have like a sixth sense or fifth sense, sixth sense for the shit. So I literally, I literally feel when others are bullshitting. They might not be aware of it, and they're maybe not doing that on purpose, and maybe they have good intentions, but it's still bullshit because it's not really the truth what's lying behind it. And I said there's three energies in life. One is procreation, the second is survival. Most people operate only on those two things. And then this is consciousness, the awareness, what you are. The two first energy forces are biological in this Maya, in this 3D world, in this illusion, right? And consciousness, awareness is the space in which basically everything appears. But because most people are not awakened or enlightened, they operate only on those two things, survival and procreation. So anytime, this is super interesting, anytime you watch someone on YouTube that is not awakened or enlightened, which most 99%, 99.99% people are not, then you can be 100% sure they're operating on survival or procreation. It's that simple. So when you look at people, don't think like they're super nice to you and they're trying to, make the world enlightened. Think first is what is their procreation and survival? And with Sadia psychology, it's super simple. It's procreation and survival. Otherwise, she wouldn't be so fixated on her looks. The same thing is with Teal Swan. It's about survival. It's only about growing that business. It's security and survival. And that's, she's basically saying it's all about security, masculine containment, because that's what she wishes for men to be to her, because that's what she has lacked in the past. So it's all, she even said it herself, altruism doesn't exist. So if you want to spiritually grow, if you want to really spiritually grow, you need to listen to people who are awakened or enlightened, which could be Mooji, Eckhart Tolle, Ramana, Papaji, Sri Nisargadatta, whatever, you know. But don't think that you listen to regular people and that they have some kind of higher vibration or higher knowledge. It just doesn't happen like that. And I would even go so far that a lot of these people will mislead you.